Hey guys, so I'm just gonna put some makeup on my face. I have a box of eyeshadow palettes next to me. I finished filming my eyeshadow palette collection video thing, which I will have linked below when it is up. But as I was going through my collection, I'm finding all of these shadows, all these palettes that I almost never reach for because they're kept in a box under my sink, So I thought it might be fun to just kind of grab one and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. This is the Boxo palettes. And I'm just going to reach in and grab this one. Ooh! All right. I was afraid this was going to happen, but we're going to roll with it anyway. This is a Wet n Wild trio. It's called Plaid to the Bone, and it does have some really pretty colors. It has a very similar duochrome shade that is in the Comfort Zone palette. This is a little darker and a little less, actually, hold on. So here's the Comfort Zone palette and the duochrome in that. So there they are. This kind of darker one is from Plaid to the Bone, and then this one is from the Comfort Zone palette. So they're very similar, so I think I can make this work so you could recreate it if you wanted to. So I do have a little bit of makeup on. I have primed my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance in Candlelight, which I am desperately trying to use up. And I have my brows on using the ABH Brow Definer, Jordana Quick Brow, and a little bit of Blonder Over Yonder Brow Mascara from Wet n Wild, just to top it all off. I have a full video on my thoughts on that, so I will also have that linked below if you're interested. Alright, so I am going to start out, I think, with eyeliner. And just to mix it up, I'm going to use a brown. This is the Milani Liquid Eye Liquid-like eyeliner pencil, just in the shade brown. I'm going to line, waterline, and lash line up and down. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker out at the end. I want to do a kind of slinky shape. Doesn't have to be neat. I'm going to blend it out. To blend it, I'm going to use an accent brush from Real Techniques. Since this palette only has 3 colors in it, I'm just going to involve all 3 of them. So after I've lined, I'm going to take this Brow Bone shade, which is a really pretty kind of taupey gold, using an e.l.f. $1 eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to bring that into the probably inner third. Just place that right over the liner. And then using the accent brush to take that same shade mirrored on the bottom. And then I'll just go right back to that e.l.f. brush into the duochrome shade and place that on the rest of my lid. Same thing, mirroring with the accent brush on the bottom lash line. Gotta make the sexy face. Right? Am I right? I know. Now I'm taking an e.l.f. crease brush to blend the edge. This navy crease color in here is not that pigmented, so I'm just going to go in with the crease brush, go back and forth a lot, and just use that on the outer edge of the shadow. Just so I can say that I used all 3. You certainly wouldn't need to do this. I don't know if you can even tell on camera. It adds a little interesting something though. And I think because it's not that pigmented, it works better. Because that duochrome has, you can see on my eye, it's quite, well, I've used a lot of brown tones already, like that goldeny shade and the brown liner. And there's definitely a brown base to the duochrome shade. But there's also that kind of green-blue happening. So with that blue blended on the outside, even though it's not that strong, it still adds a little something. And that's it. Well, obviously that's not it. I have the rest of my face to do. Put on some mascara, the I Heart Volume from Essence. Not curling my lashes because I never curl my lashes. Let's just be honest. I like this mascara for this look because it's kind of messy, rock and roll, baby. Goes really nicely with a smoky eye. And that eye's pretty much done. So let's move on to the rest of the face. Now I am testing out this e.l.f. Aqua Primer Mist. I didn't really get it as a primer per se, but it has some really nice hydrating ingredients in it and some other good skin benefit, some other ingredients that are beneficial for your skin. Let's say that. My skin has been really dry recently. I'm hoping that this will help. Now, I've used it a couple times and it is really nice and hydrating on the skin. The spray isn't really as fine as maybe you would like it to be, but so far I've been enjoying it. And I'll just use my fingers, kind of pat it in. Doesn't smell like anything, which I really appreciate. Doesn't have any added fragrance. Thank you, e.l.f., for doing that. Actually, while I wait for that to settle in, I'm going to conceal under my eyes, trying to use my Urban Decay concealer. So I use this in the shade Light Warm. That's way too much, but I'm trying to use it up. I'm using a deluxe crease brush from Real Techniques to blend that in. And I'm going to set that with my CoverAll pressed powder using Real Techniques setting brush. My favorite. Love it. Powder and brush. Love them both so very much. All right. Now that that primer's dried down on my face, I'm going to go in with my NYX Total Control Cover Drops. I have it in the shade Vanilla. I have a whole review video on this. I will link below. So I usually take a few drops out on the back of my hand after shaking it up. Be careful, it's very liquidy. And just kind of place it around my face. Now it does set rather quickly, so I go right in with a buffing brush from Real Techniques. And just spread it around. Nice light layer to begin with. My skin's been pretty good lately. And the more I can kind of let it show through, the happier I am. So I like to start off with just a thin layer. And sometimes I won't even do this. Sometimes I'll just kind of spot conceal with my foundation. I'm gonna, a couple more drops. Ooh, that's too much. So I'm just gonna dot this on my nose where I need a little bit more, and I didn't get to my neck. And use just whatever's left on my hand. Cover this bad boy up. Now you wouldn't really have to set this, actually. I always do, just because I do. It's part of the ritual, and especially on my nose and forehead, which tends to get oily. I'm using a complexion brush from e.l.f. in that same CoverAll powder. But I have worn this on you know, kind of my cheeks and chin without powder, and it works out pretty well. But I'm setting a little bit today. All right, for the rest of my face, I grabbed this e.l.f. blush palette. This is the light version. So I think, of course, I don't have the brush I want. Have the brush I want. So I think I'm going to take this bronzery-ish shade on a Real Techniques blush brush. Whoa, that might be too much. Brush that off on my arm a little bit. Tap. My chin and nose, whatever's left on the brush. A little bit more. Sexy pose. Then I'm going to take an e.l.f. blush brush. Might be called a cheek brush. I don't know, because they didn't write the name on the handle. And what do we want to do? So I'm going to grab a little bit of that kind of melony shade. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild MegaGlo highlighting powder. This is in the shade Precious Petals, by the way. This was a limited edition product. It's so pretty. Limited edition for, I think, summer 2016. And everybody loved it so much they brought it back. So this is the first time I'm trying it. And I'm using an e.l.f. small taper brush. Blend that on. Oh, it's pretty. It's much more subtle than I thought it was going to be, actually. You could probably build it up if you wanted to, but that's not generally my jam. But the, yes. Very nice. Now, because I have been filming my collection videos, I have my box of lip goodies over here. I don't know if I have the courage to, well, let's see. It's going to be loud and annoying to listen to. I know, I'm sorry. What is this? Actually, should we go big? So this is a Bite Beauty lip duo. That shade I just used is Palomino, and the other side is Pomegranate, which is a nice red. So I think I'm going to mix the two and just kind of buff it off with my finger because I'm super professional. So it's kind of more stain-like, and I'm going to concentrate that red the center. Making a mess. Blot that down. I'm just gonna soften the edges up a little bit. Hey, I don't hate it. I wish I had a clear gloss, though. Something a little shiny would be nice over top of this. Ooh. And so I topped off with a little bit of the e.l.f. Gotta Glow Lip Tint in Perfect Pink. Because of all of the ridiculous amounts of lip products I have, I do not have just a clear gloss. I feel like my hair has gone to a boy band circa 2000 place. I'm not digging it. I definitely need a haircut. All right, that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. This was kind of fun, just grabbing random crap and putting it on my face. I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. Even the lips, which are maybe a little bit brighter than I would tend to go for with this eye look, but I'm gonna go visit my grandmother and probably do a little grocery shopping, so I don't really care. So yes, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, if you like this kind of random get ready with me sort of thing, let me know. I'd be happy to make this maybe a little bit of a series. That could be fun. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.